And my little grade 7 angel faces. So today we start looking at peer pressure and the effects of peer pressure. And it's something we have talked about in grade 6 and in grade 5. So the first thing we're going to do is just to look at the fact that peer pressure is nothing new. Even if we hadn't put a name to it, we have already experienced peer pressure since we started mixing with peers in nursery school. All right, so a peer is someone in your own age group. And an acquaintance is a person who is not someone you see as a close friend. Perhaps you just see them every day. Now, probably an acquaintance, not every day, but you're not close to them. All right, pressure is when you feel pressed or influenced to make a choice or a particular decision or to act something out or do something. That's peer pressure. All right. That's that's pressure. And when it's someone your own age, then we call it peer pressure. All right. Sometimes there's direct and spoken peer pressure, like, hey, take a drag of the cigarette, brew, or come on, everybody is trying out this Castle Lager. Do it. Okay. All the cool kids are doing it. And then there's also the more subtle, indirect or unspoken peer pressure, where someone hasn't actually said something to you, but you see others doing it. So you feel, maybe I should do it to feel part of the group or just to feel like I belong. Okay. So now I want us to go and look at our textbook, page 48. All right. Now, I know the answer to have you ever given into pressure, and has a person or a friend ever asked you to do something you didn't really want to do, or your parents have said, don't ever do. I'm not even going to ask you that question because I think the answer is yes for everybody. Okay. We've talked about direct peer pressure, spoken, and indirect or unspoken peer pressure. Okay, this can involve many different behaviors such as the abuse of drugs and alcohol, taking part in criminal acts, unhealthy sexual behavior, or bullying and rebellious behavior. And everyone does give in to pressure at one time or another. But why do people sometimes do things that they really don't want to do? And here in our book, we've listed a few reasons. Because they are afraid of being rejected by others. They want to be liked and don't want to lose a friend. They want to appear grown up and cool. They don't want to be laughed at. They don't want to hurt someone's feelings, or they aren't sure of what they really want, or don't know how to get out of the situation. And last year we did look at ways to resist peer pressure. So let's see if there's anything new on this list. Choose your friends carefully. It's better to have one or two reliable, trustworthy friends than a wide circle of not so great friends and just acquaintances. Develop your self-image and be yourself. Trust your parents or caregivers. Talk to them and remember that they are older and more experienced than your friends, and they have your best interests at heart. Keep yourself busy and active. This means you will be too busy to worry about what others are doing. And realize that not being true to yourself or your values will only make you unhappy in the end. So in some ways, peer pressure is similar to bullying. You have the right to make decisions for yourself and use your free will. Okay. I want us to look at this activity on page 49. What makes a good friend? Now, this is the activity that you are going to do in your books. There are 12 questions. You can number them or put bullet points or put little hearts or little stars, but a nice date and heading, what makes a good friend? Okay, and these you are going to answer truthfully and in as much detail as possible. Okay, why do we need friends? What is the importance of friendships? What are the qualities of good friends? And what do good friends do or say? What are the qualities of bad friends? And what do bad friends do or say? How do you yourself choose friends? Do the friends you have now have anything in common with you? Are all your friends the same gender? Does this matter? What is the difference between a friend and an acquaintance? Have your friends changed as you have grown older? How and why? So as you go along, you can see it's not actually 12 questions. Some questions have 2 or 3 parts. So you need to answer everything the question is asking of you. What is the difference between a friend and a close friend, or even a best friend or BFF, best friends forever? Do you make friends easily? If yes, why? And if no, why not? And what behavior would stop you from being friends with someone? Even if you were best friends from grade 0 up to now, what could they do that would make you stop being their friend? And those are the answers I want you to put in your book. And then just a little note here at the bottom. Remember that while it is good to have friends, you shouldn't feel forced to talk, dress, or act in a way that you're not happy with. It may be difficult to stand up for what you believe in, but you will be a happier and stronger person if you do. Okay, so now we are going to do, so that's the work that you're going to do in your book. And now we are going to do a put a finger down challenge. All right, so I think do what we do, put your 10 fingers under the desk. Nobody looks at anybody else. And it's going to be, I'm going to ask these questions or make these statements from page 50 and 51. And I just want you to put a finger down if you agree. Okay, so it's not agree, disagree, or maybe. It's just put a finger down if you agree. So actually, then I think I'm going to stop sharing the screen. And then I'm going to ask them myself from my textbook, using my little clothes pegs to keep the textbook open. All right, so remember, your 10 fingers are under the desk, and put a finger down, or you can have them all down and put a finger up, but we are going to count out of these statements how many we agree with. Okay. Put a finger down if you think it is more important to be yourself than to fit into a crowd. Put a finger down if you wouldn't do something that you know was wrong just to stay on your friend's good side or in their good books. Put a finger down if you don't go along with what your friends want to do just to keep them happy. Put a finger down if it's pretty hard for your friends to get you to change your mind. Put a finger down if you wouldn't break the law even if your friends said that they would. Okay, nearly halfway. Put a finger down if you wouldn't use drugs or alcohol even if your friends did. Put a finger down if you always give your true opinion in front of your friends, even if they might laugh or make fun of you or make you feel small. Put a finger down if bullying someone who is less cool than you is something you think is not cool. So you think you're a certain way and someone is less than you, which we know we shouldn't be doing. Do you think it's okay to bully them? Put a finger down if you take more risks with some of your friends than you do if you are alone. Put a finger down if you wouldn't get involved in any unhealthy sexual behavior, even if your friends thought it was cool. Put a finger down if you act the same way when you're alone as you do when you are with your friends. And our last little TikTok. Put a finger down if you don't say things you don't really believe because you think it will make your friends respect you more. So I don't say things I don't really believe because I think it will make my friends respect me more. You rather stay true to yourself. Okay, so if you put more than 8 fingers down, then great. I would say you're well on your way to resisting peer pressure and establishing your values, standing up for yourself. If you put less than 8 fingers down, right, then I would say you need to start asking yourself, what are my values? What are my beliefs? What is my faith? Okay. Do I want to stay true to myself? Do I want to be who I am? Do I want to lose myself and become a follower? Do I want to do things that I don't believe in just to be considered cool, popular? All right. And those are the things I want you to think about now that you've done the put a finger down challenge. Okie dokie. So you are doing the activity on page 49, activity 1, question 1 to 12, and it's all about friends. And from me, it is an over and out, and you enjoy talking about friends and explaining what you think real friends are, etc. in your books. And I will chat to you next week. Love you lots.